Hi guys, welcome back with me, Helfia and Suradey Putri. Now I want to present all of you about the death penalty. So let's get it. Okay, law is a guideline that regulates the pattern of human life, which has an important role in achieving the goal of peaceful life for society. The death penalty is one of the laws that are enforced in Indonesia. This penalty applies to cases of premeditated murder, terrorism, and drug trafficking. In the matter of the death penalty, although many parties oppose it, there are still many who support it. Pros and cons always arise. Every time there is the execution of the death penalty, every time there is an argument too. The argument for rejecting or abolishing the death penalty revolves around a moral or religious statement, namely that only God gives life to humans and only God has the right to revoke it. So guys, now we talk about pros to the death penalty. The pros state that the law shouldn't only side with the human rights of the perpetrators of crime, but also the rights of the victims of crime. The victim's right to life who has been deprived of the perpetrator, for example in cases of terrorism and premeditated murder, must also be considered. When a number of parties criticized and asked Indonesia to end the death penalty, a number of parties rejected with the normative arguments, namely that the death penalty is currently still a positive law, and when a convict has been sentenced to death by the court, it must be implemented to ensure certainty. Even Indonesia doesn't need to submit to pressure from other countries because it has to uphold its sovereignty in the field of law. Another important argument from those in favor of the death penalty is for the prevention of crime. The seriousness of the crime rate that is often committed with supersonic acts has made the wider community still think that the death penalty is still necessary. What if there is no death penalty, while even with the death penalty there are still many crimes? Okay, now we talk about cons for the death penalty. Another argument often put forward by those who oppose the death penalty is that the criminal justice system is still weak and the many deficiencies that tend to result in innocent victims being sentenced to death. Another important argument against the death penalty is that the death penalty contradicts human rights, especially to the right to live. This has also been explicitly explained in the post-amendment 1945 Constitution. The right to life is guaranteed constitutionally. For those who oppose the death penalty, they think that life and death are only in God's hands. In addition, the death penalty is also against the first and second principles of Pancasila. So now, what do I think about the death penalty? In my view, the punishment has been drafted and considered by the government. As for the death penalty, I actually agree to do it for criminals who have seriously harmed other people and countries where their crimes are unforgivable. Because if they are not punished strictly, everyone will think that if they commit a crime, the punishment will also be insignificant. However, the state must also be held responsible. The state must not make the mistake of deciding which perpetrators will be executed. And for crimes that may still be pardonable, maybe it is not necessary to be punished by death. I think that imprisonment for life is also appropriate. So guys, that's it for my presentation about the death penalty. Thank you so much for your attention and bye bye.